I meet lots of interesting people who I want to help, and the best way for me to give back is to quickly share who they're helping professionally and who they wish they could privately or philanthropically help more. And I help you by keeping the interviews short and sweet. People in my circle can pick and choose who to directly and indirectly help with their business or charitable contributions. Who are you helping? Don't forget to subscribe or follow me on YouTube and TikTok so that they start paying me to do more interviews like these. Let's get started. How's it going? I'm Dan Fredenberg, and this is for Who Are You Helping? And today I'm joined with Melanie Pastrana. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yes, correct. This is pastrami, but with NA at last. So it's pastrana.
There you go, just like that. Good stuff. And if you've never seen a Who Are You Helping episode before, this is how it works. Normally, I'm interviewing commercial real estate investors as part of my Chance Encounter series. Those are 15-minute interviews. If you are a commercial real estate investor, I do want you to reach out so that I can get you on the podcast. We don't pretend we're friends or anything like that. But every once in a while, I meet somebody where I'm like, okay, you're in my, solar system here of business. I'm not sure where you fit in, or I want my network to know how they can help you as well. So I have them on this quick 8-minute recording format. So first of all, Melanie, you're an architect. Can you please introduce yourself on a deeper level than that? Who is Melanie Pastrana?
So hi to everyone who's watching. I'm Melanie Pastrana. I'm a licensed architect. So let me get that straight. So I'm an architect, but my license is bounded only on the Philippines. Maybe I might get messages now and then asking me to design for them. So just to clear that air, I'm only bounded in the Philippines. So I could give you design concepts, but I can't build anything for you in your jurisdiction. So I have been an architect since 2016. And my training actually is designing residences and luxury townhomes. And also condominiums here in the Philippines. Also, I have been a construction manager for multiple hotels here in Metro Manila, which is the capital of the Philippines. So there you go.
Yeah, that's really beautiful, and there's a lot more that I have to ask you. Like I know that you're mentioning about how you can't you're not licensed to be an architect outside of the Philippines, and I know that me being in commercial real estate, I'm constantly talking to attorneys, and they're investing all over America, and they all have their own local attorney as well. So I wouldn't sell yourself too short or something like that as far as your role could be, because I'm sure that there'd be at least a savings or something involved by having you work in it. But as far as who do you help professionally, I'll talk to the audience here for a second. The reason I asked for who do you help professionally is because I've got a marketing background. I've got a consultation background, and I know that a lot of people, they struggle to be able to explain what it is that they do for a living. And I know that, everybody has a person or some people who give them money on a fairly regular basis, and the boss knows why, and the employee has a pretty good idea why. And I'm just trying to find out what that is so that you in the audience can decide if you can help Melanie or not. So who do you help professionally? You told me before that you're pivoting into the international space, and I'm not sure exactly what professional services you're offering in that case. But who do you help professionally? What's the way to bring home the bacon, as they say?
So right now I work full-time as an architect. I have my own firm here in Philippines locally. So I am an architect, a freelance architect on Upwork and also other platforms. So what it does in the international space is that I help homeowners or real estate investors like yourself or whoever turn their visions into something more understandable in construction. So it means like drawings, renderings, models that can be used. It's like a concept phase. So when you are thinking of the schemes first before you go on an architect or an engineer to build that. So basically, on those stages, it's the critical place where you're thinking, I want the kitchen here, but not really. I want the living area to be this big, but I don't know how that works out. So on those stages, I would be helping the client kind of like patch things up before they go to a professional there. So basically that's how I do things. I have a client base in the US, in Canada, in Australia, and also in Southeast Asia.
All right, beautiful, beautiful. And I love that. I lived in Taiwan and in Taipei, Taiwan for 15 years. So, I get one of the things that really jumps out of me about being a commercial real estate investor, especially in multifamily, is the number of investors I find who they don't seem like they've ever lived in an apartment or a condo before. And it seems to me it's like, so, you might want to get that kind of brushed up before you put your entire life savings into it. But
Mhm.
I know the difference in the cost of living, and I don't want to emphasize that part. But I am interested to know, in the capital like Manila, like in Taipei, like you can forget about getting a two-bedroom condo for less than $500,000 US. Like you can forget it. There's just no way. What's a two-bedroom condo in Manila in like a reasonable to better area? Are you able to say
Um,
ballpark?
yeah, so actually we bought a condo there back when I was still working there. I don't really know the exact figures how it
Mm-hmm.
sells right now, but back then I kind of bought it for like 5 million pesos.
5 million pesos.
So
Yeah, I don't know conversions.
that's there around 250,000.
250,000. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's in line with cost of living differences and stuff like that. So, it's still as much as a house in a lot of parts of America or whatever. But
Mm.
but that's actually not why you're here. So let's move on to the next question. So, Melanie, the next question is, who do you wish you could help more? And maybe like some people, they don't even have enough time with their families. Like we're talking at 8:30 in the morning my time, because I know that it's, you end up having to work late if you're on that
Mm.
side of the world. I had to for 5 years or something like that when I was in Taiwan. So that could be an answer, or there's something philanthropic or like volunteer you like to do. Who is there in this world where you wish you could help them more than you can right now?
So I wish to help homeowners. Actually, this is kind of a personal advocacy of mine
Hmm.
because here in the Philippines and also all parts of the world, I noticed that people has this notion that architects are expensive
Hmm.
or it's not really needed. So that's why there's a lot of DIY videos on YouTube and TikToks. So I want people to have this kind of vision for the whole space, not just partly, until everything's kind of mixed up and you don't really know what you're looking at. So I want to be able to help them have this kind of structure that they would follow on to rather than having to go through the expense and also the headaches of having this additional over additional or the other thing is having these places and unforeseen renovations later on. So
Hmm.
basically, I want to reach out to people that has ideas in mind.
Hmm.
Maybe we could talk it out in paper first or rendering, see what you want or envision before
Hmm.
we go talk to builders or contractors and have it done. Because
Hmm.
on paper, it's just paper. It's easier to have things fixed, but once you build it, it's much more costly to have it demoed and or whatever you need to done.
Right, right, right. And so one thing that hits me, and like me, I've got the background in tech and CRMs and web development and all that kind of stuff. And of course, in America, things are a lot more expensive than they are in the Philippines, or say like Bangladesh, India, Pakistan. Those different places, right? But as far as a ballpark goes, me personally, I started out my whole audience, my online audience building, because I wanted to be able to prove to potential clients that, if you don't have any money at all, like if you're just trying to slough it and say it's like, oh, I want to do organic, but the reason why you say that you want to do organic is because you don't have a whole lot of money. It's like
Mhm.
it's not going to work out the way that you hope it will, even if you have somebody who's extremely talented. It's a basically it's pay to play on the internet right now. And so that was what I did to be able to prove to potential clients, like, look, this is a ballpark of how much money you're going to have. And I even saw a copywriter who he won't work with anybody unless he has a 6 months commitment, and it's $5,000 a month. And so it's so there are big numbers floating around here, and I wanted to throw out a number that I think is a little bit on the high side personally, so that you could say, it's like you said, that architectural help is too expensive. Can you give a cutoff of, like, if you don't at least have this amount, then it's like maybe you should be searching elsewhere. Like, is there anything available for under $10,000, for example?
I mean, you're paying less to get more of
Mm-hmm.
what you need before you go into the consultations and all those things with the professionals over. So
Right.
basically on savings part, it would save you a
Yeah.
lot
Oh
because
yeah, it's
I know for a fact
astronomical. So yeah, so it's, even if you have a budget in the hundreds or thousands, like, it still
mm,
makes a lot more sense to get somebody with some architectural experience involved. Yeah, that's really really great to know that. But so that's who you help professionally and who you wish you could help more. My next question is, how can people help you? And so it doesn't have to be professionally. It could be in another context or something like that. But what's the best way for somebody in the audience to help you?
so one way that people could help me actually is to know at least because part of this is educating the people to know at least to reach out because if you just think that you can do it yourself, you want to reno your room and you just it's me, I'm going to get a design from Pinterest or elsewhere. You have to know first that you need help. You need to reach out to someone, at least professionally, that could assist you in that. Because most people, they know that I want to demolish this part, but then they don't know the structural elements that come to it. So basically, I just want to let people know that you could help us professionals by knowing when to reach out to us, not just asking yourself or however, whoever you know that these things could be done.
And over there, to become an architect, I imagine you need your bachelor's degree and you need some post-secondary. About how much about how many years of university or whatever is required to become an architect over there?
So actually, I had 5 years of
Hmm.
university.
Hmm.
So my bachelor's degree in architecture, I got it on 2014.
Okay.
And then to become a licensed architect, you have to have an apprentice hours
Hmm.
under a licensed architect. So that's around 2 years.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Great.
it has to, yeah, it has to be diversified. It's not because some firms are just design, some firms are just construction project management. It has to be
Sure.
diversified. Like you have to experience in estimates,
Hmm.
the design process, the construction project management process. So
Hmm.
all these facets of construction has to be on your portfolio for you to take the exam. And then we have the architecture licensure examination here in the Philippines, which is around 2 days,
Hmm.
if I'm not mistaken still. So 2 days. So it just ranges from, of course, design, the structural subjects that we
Hmm.
have, and also professional practice, which is the laws, codes, and all those here in the Philippines. And then after that, when you pass that successfully, you have your shiny plastic license.
Swell. And just so that I'm revealing why I ask, it's like, especially because of my digital security background, I'd be interested in being able to vet somebody. It's like when you're on the other side of the world, they could say, oh, I went to university. For my accreditation, it's like, is that a good school? I don't even know, right? And so that's why I wanted to know.
Yeah.
So awesome. So and then what's the best way to reach out to you? We ended up meeting through meetups indirectly and through LinkedIn and like all sorts
Mhm.
of like weird nooks and crannies. But what is LinkedIn the best way to reach you, or is there a site that's better?
Yes, you could reach me at LinkedIn. I'm pretty active there. And also I have my professional site, pastrana+partners.com, which is basically where I post projects that I have here locally and also for them to reach me out. I have my email address there and contact number and WhatsApp number if they need to reach out.
All right, awesome. And so that is who Melanie helps professionally, who she wishes she could help more, how you could help her, and how to reach out. But Melanie, before we go, I got another question for you, which is, did you know that if somebody subscribes to my YouTube channel, then that helps me?
Yeah, of course. So
Right,
subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
exactly. And it's completely free. Can you think of any good reasons why somebody should subscribe to my channel?
So I could give you three
Oh, wow.
because one, it's very informative. Two, you crack jokes from time to time. And three, it's nice to get to know other people's and other traits. So
Excellent. That's so nice of you. And all you have to do is you just look under my left hand here. There's a red button, and I know it like try not to stare directly at it. I know it's super duper ugly. I hate that button so much. It's terrible. And all you have to do to get rid of it is you just take your mouse or your finger, you just go boop, and hit the red button, and it turns gray. And the gray one looks so much nicer, especially because it means that YouTube pays for these videos instead of me. That's so much better. And it's totally free, as I said. And it just means that my videos might show up on your list of suggestions, but you don't have to click on those. You've already done me an enormous favor by clicking on the subscribe button. Just like Melanie, you've done me an enormous favor by joining me today. This has been really delightful.
yeah, thanks for having me.